Hello, everyone. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot. This is our All Signs What's on the Menu this week reading. We run down all the signs from Aries down to Pisces, and we see what the universe has in store for each sign this week. This is a general message that's timeless, so whenever you find it, there might be something in this message that is meant for you. One thing I want to mention before we jump right in here is that when I hit 100 subscribers, I will be giving away a free tarot deck. That's one free tarot deck to one lucky winner. That'll be a free drawing. I'll be doing a thank you reading when I hit 100 subscribers, where all the details for how you can enter that drawing will be in that reading. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started this week. We're going to be doing the baseline with the Light Seers deck, and then we're going to use one of Ciro Marchetti's decks to do the clarification, and the three final cards from the universe will be the witches. So actually, it might be the Gilded tarot. We'll see what we use. So the way I do these is we pull three cards, get some clarification cards, and then three final cards from the universe. So let's see, what do we have for Aries this week, please? So Aries, we're starting out walking away from something potentially. Let's see what else we have here. Actually, I feel like you're moving towards something. Like there's something you're definitely letting go of, leaving behind you, moving in a new direction. I think Aries, you're just moving in a new direction in general. And then the Five of Pentacles. I think because you're tired of things not working out, and so you're going to give yourself this own new beginning. This is a new beginning that can be very steady and stable. This is definitely you going after opportunities. So it's like you're leaving in the past, or setting down this like a little bit of just a woe is me attitude of feeling like, like you a little bit of victimhood, a little bit of feeling like, your circumstances had the best of you. And I think you realize that, no, they don't anymore. I can go after, new opportunities. I have what it takes to put myself out here, and I'm going to pick myself up and move out the door. Because if you look at that Five of Pentacles, she is like really, she's very down and depressed, feeling like she's defeated in a way. And I feel like you're getting over that any defeatist attitude and ready to go seek new opportunities, Aries. Let's get some clarification on this Eight of Cups, please. Can I get clarification on this Eight of Cups? So we have the Palace of Wands. So this is an interesting deck. So if you've never seen this deck before, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. It should be in the it'll be in the comments section, or in the description section. So the Palace cards in this deck talk about the environment that we find ourselves in, and with the wands is it's like luxury. It's like this it can be like a house with a great view with all kinds of luxury, things like that. And so it basically, like I said, the Palace cards in this deck talk about the environment. So and how that affects that card. So what I'm getting here is like, this is with the Two of Cups coming out and the Palace of Wands, that you left behind a relationship that was very challenging to you. Now, this is somebody that you cared very extremely deeply for. That's for sure. Definitely had a very strong connection. Probably was a very, I get like a little bit of on-off energy with that Palace of Wands. Like the foundation something just wasn't correct, you know, it wasn't working out for you. And that's probably why you had this little bit of defeatist, you know, like attitude, that you decided, you know, I think that you finally just said that I'm done feeling this way. I'm done letting this situation affect me. I'm ready to move on to greener pastures and find something new that's going to make me happy, moving toward what makes you happy. I tell you, these decks, give me just a second. I had a card fly halfway across the room. So that was the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords usually, you know, this is someone that basically I really feel like you were trying to gather some information on the situation. I think you were doing a little bit of detective work to just basically to get your mind in a right mindset, you know, like to be able to leave this behind. You know, I think that you were kind of you know, it's kind of like you were seeking out information to basically justify your actions, is what I feel like, Aries. You were basically trying to justify your actions. Yeah, you wanted clarity. You wanted to give yourself clarity. You wanted to know what the situation was. You wanted to have insight into, you know, what was really going on, so that you can make a sound decision on this, you know, and I think that you got the information, you got something, you know, something came to light, something, you were able to uncover something that helped you move on out of this energy and move on to a new beginning in love. And so, yeah, look at all. I mean, this is cutting that out, which I kind of talked about, you leaving something behind, that you know, you were able to pick up that sword and cut this out and say, you know, this is not for me. This is no longer for me, even though I love this person. They meant a great deal to me. You know, I felt like I could have everything with this person. I now need to leave them behind. You know, I need to go my own way. At least at this time, you feel like you need to go your own way. And then, interesting enough, we have the Palace of Cups here too. So this is kind of like, you know, your house by the beach, so to speak, you know. So this is moving on, you know, where I see here, this is really helping me see, I don't know if you can see the transition, especially with the Palace card, you know, at the beginning here and then ending over here with another Palace card. And if you look at it, it's like leaving behind relationships and situations where it was superficial, you know, where it might have been, you know, all for show, glitz, glam, like it was on the surface, everything looked wonderful and was great, but there was no depth to the relationship. There was nothing, you know, deeper. And so now you're moving toward, you know, you cut out, you really got in the sword's energy and cut out, you know, got clarity, cut out what you realize this is not what you want anymore. You don't want superficial relationships. You're moving toward relationships that are deeper and more spiritual, more emotional, you know, more robust. I think I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot deck for the final messages this week. Let's see, what do we have for the final messages for Aries for the universe, please? What do you have for Aries? 3 final cards, please. And so you're basically seeking out these new opportunities that are, you know, looking for relationships, different relationship dynamics than what you have in the past. You're looking for things that, you know, relationships that are more substantial, that are going to stand the test of time because they're deeper, you know, deeper spirit, more spiritual, emotional relationships that have depth to them is what you're seeking out, Aries. And so you're seeking out, you know, this is this is basically kind of telling me a little bit about where you've been and where you're going here. So this is just telling me, like, that you're going to look at all your options and be very choosy about what you are willing to give to, because you're tired of being stressed when it comes to love. You're tired of giving to things that just, let you down. And so you're going to be very discerning and very, just very discerning about what it is that you give your time, attention, and energy to, and what you give your emotions to. So that's what I have for you this week, Aries. If you like that message, if it resonates, hit that like button. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. I appreciate you for stopping in this week with us and sharing a moment with me this week. I thank you very much and wish you the very best this week. Joy, love, and light. Okay, Taurus. Hello, Taurus. Hello to the Tauruses out there that are joining us this week. What's on the menu? Let's see what we got for what do we got for Taurus this week, please? What do we got? Welcome to any subscribers, returning viewers, or if you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let's see, what do you got for Tauruses this week? Well, I shuffled those pretty good, and this came out again. This was an Aries card. So I think we'll see if this keeps coming up. But, I feel like a lot of people might, are coming out of a period of sadness, where something, there's just been this, like, almost like a sense of missing out on something a little bit, like a fear of missing out on something. Like Taurus, you might feel like you maybe missed out on an opportunity. And that's got you a little bit stressed, a little bit, down in your feels a little bit, because you feel like you might have chosen the wrong thing or missed out on an opportunity for something that could have potentially been long-term. Let's get some more. Let's go ahead and get into our clarification. See what we got. Can I clarify this Five of Pentacles, please? Can we clarify that Five of Pentacles? So we have, that's that stable. So I really feel like you missed out on having a new beginning, an opportunity for a new start. There's something that you felt was going to lead to, that was going to be long-term. And this is something, was a reconnection. And maybe this didn't come back around. You thought that this person, that the door would still be open. Maybe you thought that you could come back around with this person and revisit this. And maybe you even tried to come back around and realize that, you wanted this new beginning with this person. You wanted to reconnect with them. But I feel with that Five of Pentacles there, that that you feel like you missed out on this chance or opportunity to have this, to reconnect with this person and have the stable new beginning. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So that's because, I think you held back a little bit. You maybe were a little bit too quiet, didn't stand up for yourself in this, maybe decided to be a little standoffish, and and that's why this opportunity passed you by, because you were undecided and you didn't do anything about it. You held back instead of, and that's an option, and that's an option that we can have when we can do something or we can not do something, and inaction is an action. And I feel like that's one of these cases, Taurus, is where this is inaction caused something to happen and unfortunately not in your favor this time. So let's see what else. We need one more card on that Four of Wands, please. We have the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So I really feel like this almost represents the couple dynamic between you and this person. So I feel like one of the people were very, very giving and gave a lot to it. The other person was a little bit cold and closed off a little bit. And I'm really getting, Taurus, that it was probably you that was a little bit closed off in this situation with this coming out the way these are falling. I'm really feeling like you were the one that might have been a little bit harsh and a little bit cold, which led to things falling apart here in the situation. And I think that's why, you're in your feels a little bit, because I think you feel like whatever you said or did may have ruined your chance for this new beginning with this person, or having the stable new start with this person. At least you're feeling that way right now. I can't tell you whether that's the truth or not. That's just the way you feel the situation is right now. At least that's the way it's coming through on the cards. So you have the 5 of Cups, the Knight of Swords. And so that's, the Knight of Swords is somebody that has something to say, usually rushes in with a message, has something that they have to get off of their chest, something they need to say. And I do feel that with the Page of Cups too, that you feel like you may owe this person an apology. I really feel like you do have some regrets here, that that you feel like you might have been a little bit harsh in this situation, and you want to apologize, and maybe this person isn't open to that apology, and that's why you're feeling like a little abandoned at the moment, or like this just isn't going to be able to happen, like you don't have the ability to make this happen, to have this start. You definitely have this desire to try and make the situation right, or at least try and open the door and hope to rekindle things. But right now you feel like you can't do that for some reason. You have a desire to do it, but there's still a part of you, Taurus, that feels like you can't do this yet. So that's about where you are this week. So if that resonated, hit that like button down below. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you. I greatly appreciate you joining me this week and supporting my channel. I wish you the very, very best this week. Joy, love, and light. Okay, Gemini. Gemini, okay, your cards are already flying out. I barely get shuffled. So you have something that you're kind of waiting here for. I'm getting definitely divine timing off of that card, that you're waiting for the right time for something, right time to say or do something, to work on something. You're waiting for the right time to put effort into this, to whatever the situation is that you've been holding back. That's how you're going to know what this is. Whatever you haven't been, what you've been holding yourself back from. So there's such situation in your life, Gemini, that you have been, you have been holding yourself back from. It's something you want to give to, something that you wanted to give to, but you have not been giving to. You've actively chose to keep your cards close to your vest and hold back from expressing anything or giving anything to the situation. I think this is like a little bit of defiant, like being a little bit stubborn and defiant in, giving towards something. But I feel like you're waiting for the right opportunity, the right chance, the right time. Like you feel like that the timing's not right to give to this yet. And that's why you're being a little bit stubborn about it, is because I feel like you want to, you definitely have this desire to come together with somebody or this situation, to bring it together. And, but you're waiting for the right time for that, but I think, you're going to have to be careful with that Palace of Wands coming out. The Palace in this deck this is an extra card they put in this deck that actually talks to the environment that it's sitting in. And this is telling me you might be, your desire or want, like how you will approach this situation might come off like you might be flirting. You might come off as a little more superficial or a little more flirty, where you might just be wanting to have a good time as opposed to something a little more serious. So this is what this is telling me, is that, like, you know, I think too, it's kind of twofold, Gemini, because I'm also getting for some of you that you're so busy having a good time right now. That's why you're not wanting to give to the situation that you want to give to, because right now you're just like having some fun and not really wanting to give to this situation, because maybe it's you know, because you know it's going to require work and you're not wanting to put in the effort right now. You're not wanting to give to that and put in the effort right now. But also I feel like, you know, when it comes to this situation, you're going to have to be careful when you work on it, because you might come off as a little bit superficial and just wanting to have a good time, and that might be construed in a way that you did not expect. It may, you know, it may kind of backfire on you. So it's kind of being a little bit cautious there. So this is, you know, this is the, you know, kind of knowing that there's a decision that needs to be made that's on the table here. You do know what needs to be done here. Like I said, you know that you need to work on this, but you're actively, you know, choosing right now to do something else, you know, because you just don't feel like it's the right time yet to give to this, to work on it. And because you feel like that if you do, you know, making this decision right now, you feel is going to be difficult. You know, that's what I'm getting, is this is, if you decide to work on this right now, it's going to be difficult, which is why you're leaving it up in the air for the moment. Okay, so you have the priestess, the high priestess. Let's see, what do we got with this? We got with the high priestess here. Interesting enough, I'm getting, you know, the high priestess can talk about hidden things, and with this, I was drawn to the moon, so that kind of leans me toward that, you know, that kind of meaning toward the high priestess is, you know, things that are hidden, things that are unknown. And so I think that's what you're still trying to get some information. I think you're trying to a little bit with this page being here. I think that you're just starting to tap into your intuition, like where you haven't been listening to it up to this point. I think that you're finally starting to kind of, with this page here, that you're exploring the idea of listening to your intuition and listening to your soul on this matter. You know, I think up until this point, you haven't been really listening to your intuition. You've been kind of doing your own thing, you know, doing maybe being a little bit selfish, but it's more, you know, taking the time to do stuff for yourself, you know, giving to yourself, you know, doing what you need to do for you instead of giving to someone else. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of energy. There's nothing bad about it. It's just, you know, you're just focused more on yourself and doing something for you right now versus listening to what, you know, what your intuition is telling you to do. You're kind of ignoring it a little bit, but I see with that page that you're starting to explore the idea of listening to your intuition. I think your intuition is starting to get a little bit louder and telling you that you need to get on with it, that you need to hurry up and get on with this, because you've been taking your freaking sweet time, Gemini, when it comes to this situation that you need to work on. You've been going at less than a snail's pace. You know, you've been wandering in the woods, distracted by every little tiny thing along the way, you know, and it has taken you an eternity to get to this point, and you're still not there. And I think the universe your intuition and the universe are kind of screaming at you, man, you've been, you know, get with it here, Gemini. You've been taking way too long. You've been distracting yourself way too long for too much. It's time to give to this now. You need to do something about this. You know, I think your intuition is telling you that the timing is right, and but you're still wanting to kind of distract yourself. You're still wanting to hold back. You're still wanting to not open up yet to this person, not work on it. And I definitely, you know, it can be any kind of relationship dynamic, but you know, you're not willing to put the work in and open up yet in this situation, because even though your intuition is telling you to do so, you're not doing it yet. You still are holding off a bit. So that's what I have for you this week. If this message resonated with you, Gemini, hit that like button. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave any comments that you want to leave for me or for others. I thank you for joining me and supporting my channel, whether you are a current subscriber, returning viewer, or a new person. I thank you so much, and I wish you the very best this week. Joy, love, and light. Cancer. Hello, Cancer, and all the Cancerians out there. This is what's on the menu this week. What do we got for Cancer this week, please, universe? What do you got for Cancer? If you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel. You'll see how this plays out shortly. And if you're a returning viewer or a subscriber, thank you for joining me as well and supporting my channel. I appreciate that so very much. All of you. I appreciate all of you that support me. It means a great deal to me. So let's see what we have here for Cancer. Cancer, Queen of Wands energy, feeling a little bit spicy, a little bit saucy. Definitely have some passion for something. You know, there's I feel like a fire's getting lit under your butt is what I feel like, Cancer. I feel like there's a fire being lit under your butt, that you want to do something, you want to give to something. Definitely a fire being lit under your butt. That's your, I think that's going to be your message in a nutshell. But let's see. Yeah, so more fire energy. We have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So this is definitely wanting to move in a direction. It's a lot of playful, fun energy. Like I said, I feel like almost like a fire's being lit under your butt to get out and have a good time, do something fun. You're antsy and ready to get out and do something, to just get out and do something is what I'm really feeling. Let's get some clarification on this Queen of Wands, please. So we have the Three of Pentacles, so that's, you know, that's coming together, but working on something. This could be something related to work. With the Pentacles coming out, this could be something related to your job, to your work, you know, where you might, you know, it might be that you get an idea, you know, an idea sparks in your mind that, you know, when that's related to your career somehow. You know, you might have a bright idea, be very innovative at this time, or just very imaginative, creative. It's a very creative time. I think, you know, something, you know, sparks that flame. And then you have the Eight of Cups. So I really feel like this is just, this Eight of Cups is just, you know, willing to set down something and move away in the situation. So I really feel like if you look at this, you know, like he's actually climbing up steps up a ladder. He's moving up, you know, moving up the scale. And I really feel like this reading is really talking mostly about career, that you might have an opportunity coming. I really feel like that, Cancer, that you might just have something, you know, like a bright idea, something comes to you like that is gonna, I think, propel your career, you know, like move you up the ladder. You know, it's going to be something that is going to get you recognition, where you're going to be, you know, you're going to be noticed for it, is what I feel like. Or, you know, somebody's going to, you know, you're going to start drawing some attention to you, is what I feel like. because they're leaving everything else behind, you know, moving on, kind of moving up, moving on. And I feel like, you know, that might be the case here. Yeah, because things are changing. You know, I really am feeling like there's something that occurs. Like as I mentioned before, the spark, you know, that's ignited within you, some kind of creative idea, some kind of, you know, just awesome idea that you're going to have. And because of that, it's going to give you an option here of, you know, it's interesting, all these pentacles that are coming out. I see, you know, you have the 2 of Pentacles on the 6 of Pentacles, and I really feel like this is about, you know, whether you're going to choose to give to this or not, especially with the wheel there. You know, it can go both ways. And so it, depending on, you know, you have to decide what you're going to give to, you know, what you're going to do here, you know, which direction you're going to go. You know, what are you going to do about it? You know, once you have this, once this, you know, you have this insight, once you have this bright idea, once this fire is ignited within you, what are you going to do about it? You know, are you going to turn that wheel? Are you going to propel yourself forward on this new path? Or, you know, are you going to, you know, the wheel goes 2 ways, you know, so you can either stay where you are and do nothing about it, or you can propel yourself forward and do something, take action on it and see where it goes. You know, because this can lead to great abundance if you take action. You know, if you, you know, spark this desire, whatever it is, like take action on it and do something about it, you know, express it, go after it, you know, go after this with all your passion and determination. You know, this is going to lead to something. Look at this. This is going to lead to something beautiful. I really felt like this moving up the ladder. And then we have, look at all, like there's so much green. I'm seeing like so much like gold and green, like money. I'm just getting, you know, this money vibe, you know, just this money vibe coming off of these cards. So that tells me, Cancer, that, you know, I think you're going to have an opportunity to, you know, if in some aspect of your career, you're going to get recognition or noticed, but it's only going to come if you know, this, whatever, there's a situation that presents itself. And I really feel like it's kind of, for different Cancers, it's going to be a little bit different. For some of you, it's just going to be this energy that ignites you, that you just have this drive, this energy to get a lot done. And because you get a lot done, people take notice of it in your profession. It starts standing out to them. They recognize and notice how hard you're working at this time. Or for some of you, it could be you have a really great, innovative idea, something really, really creative and innovative that really, you know, gets you noticed as well. You know, it's going to be one of those types of things. You know, this is a general message, so it's going to be different for different Cancers out there. And this is, you know, getting in that chariot and going toward our destiny, moving toward our destiny. And I think, you know, the universe is basically saying, you know, they're supporting this at this time, which is why you have this energy to propel you forward. You know, it's whether you're going to take advantage of it or not. Are you going to take advantage of it? Are you going to, you know, allow yourself to celebrate, you know, to take action? If you take action and move toward this, you know, it's going to lead to great things. Look at this. You have, you know, this celebration card, but, you know, you also have the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles there. So that's like, talks about serious abundance and starting from a place, you know, it's a new beginning that's going to lead to this abundance, like a lot of abundance, you know. And the Empress is a very creative person, you know. She's very, you know, abundant, but also very creative. She has a very creative energy. And then you also have the Emperor. So this can also, since this is coming out one, I feel like this is you getting into, like more aligned, both your masculine and feminine energies. But also I feel like two, this is you bossing up. I really am feeling this is what this reading is really talking about. It's more, not necessarily romance, but it's talking about you, Cancer, bossing up, like stepping up a notch on the ladder, really getting some recognition, really being seen for what you do. But it's only if you act on this energy that you're going to be, this energy or idea or whatever that comes here, give or take this week, because we're all on kind of different timelines. So energy and time is, time is very fluid. So it's one of those things where, you might already be in this energy, or you might be about to be in this energy. So it's going to be, in this time frame right now, I'm really feeling like now, between now and maybe the first part of November, this is going to occur, if it hasn't already for you, where you're going to have this moment, and that it's what you do with that moment, whether it's going to, it can lead to great things. And I think that's what the universe is trying to, if you're watching this, they're giving you the opportunity to say, hey, pay attention. This is coming, and this can be a great thing. So don't pass it by. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't miss this when you get in this energy, when you feel this energy, or when you have this bright, innovative idea. Do something about it. Don't let it pass you by. You have a chance to miss this if you don't act on it. So that's what I have for you this week, Cancer. If that message resonated, or you hope it resonates with you, hit that like button down below. Feel free to leave any comments, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. You know the deal if you've watched any tarot. If you haven't, welcome. Thanks for joining us. But that's what I have for you this week, Cancer. And I wish you the very best this week. Joy, love, and light. Okay, Leo. Leo, hello to Leos out there. Thank you for joining us this week on What's on the Menu. What do we got for Leos this week, please? What do you got for Leos this week, please? The King of Swords. So King of Swords, for any new viewers, if you're a returning viewer, you might already know this, but the King of Swords is my analyst. He's my strategist. He's the person that doesn't make a decision. He only makes a decision when he has all the facts, when he knows everything that he needs to know. So you also have the Ten of Wands, which I really feel like this is just, I think that there's some stress that you're letting go of, is what I really feel here, is that you've made the decision to move away from anything that's causing you stress, and move towards something that is going to fulfill you a little bit more, is what I get, Leo. You're looking for something, definitely in love. I feel like you're looking for love that is more fulfilling. I really am getting like this, I feel that, see that heart, like there's that heart there, and I'm really being drawn to that heart, that your heart chakra is opening, Leo, that it's wide open, and you're ready to give to somebody that is going to appreciate you back, that you're not going to give to things that are a burden. And this is a decision you've come to, you've weighed the balance, the scales, you've looked at looked at the situations of your past situations, and realized what doesn't serve you, and this is something interesting enough, being a fire sign, that, you've kind of used logic to determine, that it's almost like you're convincing yourself that this is what you need to do. This is the right thing to do, is what I'm getting here. You've convinced yourself this is the right thing to do. Let's see. Let's get some clarification cards. So this was definitely talking about a relationship with somebody from your past. This is, getting that clarity, coming to a decision on how to take action when it comes to this situation from your past. I really feel like, you know, you were trying to manifest this, and it just wasn't happening. You were manifesting a reconciliation with this person, and it wasn't happening. And so like you finally just had to almost use your brain and sit there and say, okay, I need to just accept that this isn't going to happen. I've been trying to manifest this. I've been trying to make us, come back together. I've been trying to manifest peace in this situation, and it just isn't happening. It's been stressful. It's been hard. I just need to, it's like you're convincing yourself that it's time to move on, that you want to go somewhere where you're appreciated, where your love is reciprocated, is what I get. You're just tired of not being given to. And getting, being involved with people that are cold. This is also, it's been a burden being in relationships with people that are very closed and cold and closed off, that don't give to you, that don't maybe express themselves in the way you need them to, even though they may want to manifest you back in their life. You're like, I am moving toward what, makes me feel good, what gives to me. I want somebody that gives to me, and that's what you're realizing. Your heart and soul are, your heart chakra is opening, and you're realizing, like, this is what I want. I want to be loved. I want somebody that appreciates me. I want somebody that gives to me, somebody that can open up and share love with me. Not someone that is cold and detached, someone that is closed off. That's too much of a burden. Tired of people that, like, just, you're just wanting to, really move toward. You've got, she's moving towards something she knows. This person, Three of Wands talks about, setting an intention, looking out on the horizon where you know what direction you're going. And, look at this, like, he's looking, well, toward that ship, but also toward the star card. It's like, what you want, and you're moving on from anything that just isn't giving you that. It's like you packed your bags and you're moving on, because you're moving on to what it is that that you want. It's like you took this time, Leo, and figured out what it is you want. So you have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, like I said, you figured out what you want in love, and you're going after it. You're walking toward, you're taking the path and walking the walk toward what, a relationship that is going to make you happier, going to give you more, going to be, more of what you're wanting, give you that love that you're seeking. And then you're showing up here with the Strength card, the Leo card showing up here. So it's really talking about, of believing in yourself, having, believing that you're worthy of finding someone, which I think you do know that, because you've made this decision to move on, to move toward what gives you love. People that give you love, that aren't closed off, that might be a little prickly, that don't give to you in the way that you need them to. You're leaving that in the past and move toward the things that make you happy, and toward, even though that it might be hard. I think the Strength here is showing up because it's just telling me how hard it's been to leave this behind in the past, to let this down, to set it down, and move toward what it is that makes you happy and what you want in life, because you've had to cut some things out and leave some things behind, and that was very hard for you, Leo. which is why the Strength card is here, because that was something that was hard to do. Moving on was something that was hard to do, but you're moving on, you're moving on, you're moving forward, you're moving toward what, your wish come true, your dreams, your desires, your hopes, what you feel is going to give you that happily ever after. The who is that person, place, or thing that is going to bring you your ultimate happiness, and being curious about what that is, putting yourself out there with this Page of Wands. It's like, giving yourself permission to put yourself out there and explore new opportunities, being a little bit innocent, being a little bit, opening your heart, to new opportunities and seeing where it leads you, and being curious about, new opportunities and what those can bring. So that's what I have for you this week, Leo. If this reading resonated, hit that like. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, whatever you want to do, whatever you're moved to do. I appreciate you for coming and joining us this week. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I wish you the very best this week. Joy, love, and light. Okay, Virgo. Hello, Virgo. Hello to the Virgos out there that are joining us this week on What's on the Menu. Universe, what do you have for Virgo this week? What do you want to talk to them about? What's the message for Virgo this week? What's on the menu for them? What are they maybe going to see, hear, do, smell, whatever, all that stuff. So you have the King of Cups, Virgo. So I feel like this is like you're thinking about opening up, I really feel like you're contemplating sharing something with someone, like opening up and sharing something, the way you feel about something, something that you feel like has not been going your way. I'm getting with this World card where it's been something that's been bothering you and going round and round. Like it's something that you have been going round and round with, Virgo, that tossing and turning. I'm really getting, it got you in your feels and you've been keeping this inside and processing it and going over it and over it and over it and over it and over it in your mind, Virgo. Getting some hermit energy, which is your energy. Definitely feeling that off that King of Cups of keeping something to yourself because but I feel like I'm really, the way he's looking at, I don't know why, but the way he's looking down at this bowl, I really feel like you're contemplating opening up and sharing something, and getting it off of your chest, like sharing that, opening up, because I think that you're tired of keeping this inside. I think that it's bothering you. It's come to that point where you've tossed and turned it over in your mind and kept your emotions at bay for so long that this is just something that you need to express and get off your chest. It's something that you need to, you feel like you can't keep it in anymore. It's something that you have to say or have to express. And I think that you're hoping in hopes of that's going to change, change the dynamic. You're hoping that when you do this, when you open up, it'll change the dynamic of the way things have been and hopefully make things a little less shaky, a little less rocky, like that you'll feel better and it'll help move you and propel you in a better direction where you'll feel better about the situation. And this is just confirming, just reinforcing, that you've been keeping things hidden. You've been keeping things locked up. You've not been sharing, and opening up, you've been keeping things to yourself and not sharing them. And that's, that's Five of Swords. That's all talks about, really almost hurting yourself. Five of Swords can also be, communication that can be hurtful and painful. And I think that's what you're afraid of. I think, I wouldn't say afraid of. I think that's the wrong word to use. It's more like, Virgo, that you're kind of a little bit worried about that if you open up and share what it is that you have to share, that could cause a little bit of pain, which is why that you've kept this to yourself all this time. But it's finally gotten to the point where it's caused you so much pain because you have been keeping it inside you and mentally locked away, where you've been dealing with it and processing it on your own and keeping it to yourself, that now it's like it's almost become toxic to you, and you need to get this off your chest, or you need to express it. You can't hold on to it. You can't push it under the rug or ignore it any longer, and then the strength comes out. It's definitely, this is something, like I said, I really feel like you can't hold on to this anymore. Where you had the strength before to hold on to this, to keep it bottled up, to shove it under the rug or under the door and not look at it, or to, where you've just kept it to yourself. It's like, I don't want to cause any conflict, so I'm just not going to say anything. It's kind of that energy. I don't want something bad to happen, so I'm just going to not do anything. I'm not going to say anything. But I definitely see that changing. I feel like you're getting the strength to open up here, to say something, to overcome that fear that you have that it's going to cause conflict, that it's going to be painful, and then, oh, this was the Three of Swords. I saw that was the Five of Swords, and this is the Five of Swords. That's the Three of Swords. But that was still pain. I was still saying how that's painful, and, that opening up is painful. So the message is still there. I read the message the correct way. I just read the card incorrectly. But it's the same message. And this is, it's everything's the same. It's just, this is what is keeping this beginning from happening, this new beginning from happening, is because, you're in a sense self-sabotaging the situation, Virgo, because you're keeping this to yourself. You're not opening it up, not sharing it, which is causing conflict all the way around. I think it's not only causing conflict for you, but conflict for those around you, or whatever the specific situation is. And you're just at that. I really feel like the dam's about to break. You see this waterfall. I feel like the dam is about to break. You see how when the light shines through, like all this water just pours out, and it's like you're opening up, you're about to open up, and the floodgates are about to open, and stuff come pouring out. You're going to say how you feel in a certain situation, regardless of how painful it might be, because you have to get it off your chest, Virgo. You have to say it, because you want things to change in the situation. You're tired of feeling hurt. You're tired of feeling pain. You're tired of keeping this inside. You're tired of keeping this to yourself. And you're just, you've been trying to get, been trying to think about getting things to change. Like you've been really hoping and wishing and praying that things would change. But I think that you're realizing that nothing's going to change until you do something different. You can sit and hope and manifest all you want, but unless you change the circumstances of the situation, you're just doomed to repeat this, get the same message over and over again. If you do the same thing, the kind of the definition of insanity. If you keep doing the same thing over and over but expect a different result, that's insanity. You have to do something different to get a different result. And I think that's what, kind of the message that's here is you're in that's kind of where you are. What you might be going through is that, there's something you've kept bottled up. There's something that you've kept to yourself that, you've been doing it this way, maybe all your life, Virgo. You know, for some of you, it might be you know, this is something you've done your whole life and you're realizing that you can't keep doing this. You can't keep continuing to keep things bottled up, that you need to start expressing yourself and opening up more. You know, you just can't do things the way you used to always do them because it's just been too hard on you. And where you've held back thinking you didn't want to hurt other people, and you didn't act or say what you wanted to say or do what you wanted to do, Virgo, because you didn't want to hurt somebody else or you didn't want to cause conflict. You're realizing that it's more hurtful for everyone involved if you don't speak up, if you don't say what you need to say and get it off of your chest. So this is, let's go ahead and get more cards, but I'm really feeling off of this card, you know, that this is what you've kept hidden. You know, that's that sweeping up under the rug, you know, kept the blindfold on, not wanting to share or make a decision, you know, or just express yourself. You know, Swords talks about communication. You know, swords are the sign or represent air, and air represents communication. So this is really telling me that, you know, you have not been communicating. You've been closed off to communicating, you know, keeping, you know, not wanting to share how you feel about something, you know, not expressing it and keeping it to yourself. But I feel like I said, I feel like that's changing. Let's get the final card here. No, it doesn't want that. It wants this one. Okay. So yeah, this is wanting to change that aspect. You're trying to figure out how to change this about yourself. You know, you're trying to figure out how to do this, you know, is what I'm getting, Virgo. And you're just not, because this is new territory for you. So this is something that's not easy for you. So you're trying to figure out the best way to do this without causing too much pain for everyone involved, is what I get. So that's what I have for you this week, Virgo. If this message resonates, hit that like button. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, whatever you are moved to do. I appreciate you so much. Whatever support that you lend to my channel, I appreciate that. And I thank you so much for joining me this week. I wish you the very, very best. Joy, love, and light. Okay. Libra. Hello, Libra. Hello to the Libras out there that are joining us this week on What's on the Menu. Let's see what do we have for Libra this week, universe? What do you have for them? What do you want to talk to them about? What do you want to to tell them? Hope you have the Knight of Swords that is popping out. It flipped over in the deck. So I really feel like you're hurriedly trying to rush towards something that you feel like you're almost like you don't have enough time. Like you're in a rush to get there. It's like trying to beat a clock, is what I get. You know, you're trying to run as fast as you can to get on that motorcycle, to get to where you're trying to go as fast as you can. You are very, you know, like, I really get that right now patience is something that you don't have a lot of, Libra. I think that you're having a hard time. This is, you know, we're in your season right now. And I think that, you know, you're wanting something to happen is what I get. And then you have the King of Cups. I think there's something here that you're wanting to happen, and it's very hard for you. You're just tired of waiting for it. You're tired of you're tired of waiting for something to happen. And I feel like you're going to take matters into your own hands. You're tired of sitting on your ass waiting. Because look at these. These guys are almost sitting in the exact same way, you know, and they're both like, okay, I've been sitting here forever, just sitting here. I'm tired of sitting here. I need to get off my behind and get my butt in gear, and because now I might be too late. I might have been sitting too long. I may have been putting something off too long. Let's see. Yeah, you might have been putting something off too long. You know, I don't know what that is yet, but I really feel like, you know, this is, something, there's something that occurred that kind of, almost feeling a little bit of a catalyst of something pushed you that gave you the nudge to get off your behind and take action, and because before it's too late. I really am feeling like, Libra, like this energy of procrastination. Like I feel like you've procrastinated too long on something, and now it's like you're under the gun, you're under the wire. You're almost out of time, because you've procrastinated or waited too long to do something. And it might be to have this new beginning, the start, because, it's interesting. We have 10 to the ace. So even though they're different suits, so you have both of those cards came out. So you have the 8 of Cups and the Knight of Wands on that Temperance card. Like I said, that's impatience right there. It's like wanting to get on with it, but I really feel like it really was a matter of, looking the other way, like being undecided. It really is just this. I'm really getting this feeling of procrastination, where almost like you're fighting your own demons. Like you're battling this demon to get it to go where it wants to go. It's like it's like you're battling your own inner demons in a way. It's like you want to move forward, you want to take action, you want to do what you want to, you want to get something done, you want to take action on it, but it's like you're fighting your own inner demons, here, that is keeping you, from getting where you need to go or getting done what you need to get done. And so now because you've been, like battling with yourself, your own inner demons in a sense, you almost feel like you've made matters worse in a sense. Okay, 7 of Swords. So this is, self-deception, where you and you've been deceiving yourself because you've really getting procrastination here. It's what's coming through really strongly, and the cards just kind of are just telling me, like, more about the fact that of how you've been procrastinating here, where you might have indulged in things that were a distraction to you, where you kind of shiny bright things or let yourself be distracted by other things when knew that you were supposed to be doing this one thing, but instead you were doing other things instead. And like I said, procrastinating, putting off something that you knew that you needed to do, this start that you were supposed to have. And now it's like you're running to try and catch up, or to make up for lost time, where you have been, where you've distracted yourself here, Libra, and kept yourself, because you've been, like I said, kind of fighting your own inner demons here, where, which is procrastination. You've been fighting that procrastination demon, that makes it hard for you to take action and until it's the last minute, till you're under the wire. And this is, something, and this is a way that you have done things, and you realize this about yourself. You definitely have realized that, and it's almost like, I feel like, also with this Knight of Wands, you kicking yourself, like you're kicking yourself in the butt to get off your behind and do something. And sometimes it's like, especially when that you have lots of time to do something, you are more than willing to be this fool and just completely distract yourself and do other things than what you need to get done, because it's like, I'll deal with that later. And then you kick yourself in the butt for putting it off and doing it later. So again, that's like, you've been sitting on your butt doing your own thing, not, again, sitting down when you should be taking action. And then you're like the last minute, now you're in a hurry to get something done, because you've sat on your butt. and then that makes it hard, you know. And so this is like, this is kind of a pattern that you have, and it's the universe is just calling attention to, you know, the fact that you put it under the wire. These new opportunities, these new beginnings, you put it under the wire, because you know that you bring yourself stress in this matter when you put off these things, and you know it. You know that this isn't the best behavior. It's something the universe is saying, this is just something that you probably need to think about letting down, setting down, or changing this aspect within yourself. Because this has been something that, with this Nine of Wands, this really tells me that it's something that's been going on a long time, because you're weary of it. You're tired of this behavior in yourself, that you're tired of being this way. You're tired of putting yourself under the gun, where you stress yourself out. You cause yourself your own pain. You stress yourself out in your own worst burden, and you deceive yourself, because you know that you have, you'll wait till the last minute and put yourself under the wire. And that brings you a lot of stress and anxiety, and really causes you a lot of hardship and grief. And you're tired of that. And the universe is saying, yeah, you need to it's time to set this down, to stop doing this behavior, to change this behavior up, and not do this procrastination thing anymore. So that's what I have for you this week, Libra. Thank you for joining me. I wish you the very best. Feel free to leave any comments, share, subscribe, like this video. I appreciate all of you that watched and joined us this week. So thank you so much. Joy, love, and light. Okay, Scorpio. Hello to the Scorpios out there that are joining us this week on What's on the Menu. Welcome to any subscribers, returning viewers, or if you're new, welcome. Thanks for joining us this week. I appreciate you if you're supporting my channel, even by being here for a moment and watching this reading. I appreciate you. So, Scorpio, you're starting out the gate with the Emperor. I really feel like got a lot on your mind right now, Scorpio, is what I really feel like. I think you just have a lot on your mind, is what I keep feeling. Like, that Emperor tells me it's like he's sitting there contemplating and thinking about something. It's like there's something heavy on his mind. And with the Ten of Wands, it's just that heavy. There's something heavy on your mind at this time, Scorpio. And I think it has to do with your happiness. Also want to say that this is definitely talking to me, very much so, which it's very obvious there with the Emperor and Empress coming out, that there has been a relationship dynamic for you, Scorpio, that with a counterpart, that somebody that you really admire, appreciate, and respect, that has been a challenge and a burden to come together with. And I think that that's one of the things that is heavy on your mind at this time, Scorpio, is this other person and the hardships that you guys have, the burden that you guys have had to go through in this situation. I'm just going to say situationship, because you're all in different things. You'll know what your situation is. So you have the Faith card, which is the High Priest. Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you have two cards here. You're really contemplating. Okay, so this is what's on your mind, Scorpio. You're wanting to have like a long-term committed relationship. You're wanting something of value, something long-term with this person. And getting to that point has been difficult. Whether this doesn't have to necessarily be marriage, that could be. I mean, definitely could be with what's on the table here, but I really feel like, you're just wanting something more than what you already have, but trying to get to that point has been challenging. So, and I think it's been something that's been very slow, and because it's been very slow getting to this point, it's been a bit of a challenge. You have 2 nights there. I also feel like there could be some interference in this situation, and that could be causing some issues. There's definitely some cycles that needed to end here. I feel on both of your sides that there was cycles that need to end. And I think that I also feel like there might have been some interference in this situation. I feel like that this has been hard to bring together for you, Scorpio, that, you just want, it's like, what do I want to say here? It's really telling me that that you want to end the cycle of the burden. It's like you want to have something steady and stable and abundant with this person. But I also feel like there's been some clashing of heads. I'm almost getting, like, off of these 2 nights, like a jousting energy where there's just been this, this issue around communication. And if you look at these these 2 nights, you have the fastest and the slowest night in the deck. So, you're moving at different paces. You're wanting different things, and I think you're on different pages. So, and I think that that's causing you to joust and have it out, which is what, this is right on this burden. And I also feel like there's maybe been some interference here, because I was really, for some reason, the symbols that are kind of in the background, especially this one, was giving me that vibe of interference, like static, interference. And interference could be lots of different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, but there's something that's causing interference here in the situation that might be making this the challenge that it is to get this long-term stability. Because I see here, Scorpio, this is everything you desire. You desire, something that's steady, that's going to lead to something long-term and committed. But at the same time, on the token of this person, they're more about, just, I think that they want to express how they feel, and I think that they want something deeper. But I just feel like you guys are just going at different speeds, or maybe want different things, or just weren't quite on the same page. But I see that this is starting to end with this, that the world, with the world card coming out, that I think things are starting to shift and change a little bit here. Let's see what we get, the final cards from the universe. So that's just telling me how significant this relationship is, which, this is probably a soulmate connection, maybe even twin flame. Definitely feeling this was a strong connection between these two, with the Emperor and Empress, like right there, baseline right up front, sitting prominent on the reading. Definitely feeling, this is a significant connection in the star. So this is something that was definitely meant to be, and I really feel like this was meant, you guys were meant to go through this, because I think that it was, these challenges were meant for you both to experience, to overcome them, to give you the opportunity to grow and overcome them, to step more into your power. This is, it's really telling me that this was something that was meant to happen, that this was, you both were meant to move forward, you know, after these things got sorted through. You were meant to have these challenges. You were meant to cross paths and come together and experience the things that you have experienced in order to close out some cycles in your life. And meeting each other allowed you to close out some cycles in your life, and so that you could, you know, have more effective, I think, communication. And it's interesting because, you know, we have the Knight of Swords here twice, and so I really feel like, you know, Knight of Swords can talk about having something to say, having some message of truth or something that needs to be expressed, that needs to be said, but they're also very fast moving. Like it's feeling like that this might be going, you know, too fast for you, Scorpio, in a sense. Like and it might be that some harsh things were said here, which is part of that burden, is like the way this person communicates might be a challenge that might be slowing things down. But I see that that's ready to change. Especially what's changing is this person is wanting to become a little more grounded and stable. You know, they're wanting to become a little more grounded, where they were more up in their head and more about like had a lot of talk but not a lot of action to follow it up. Like I really feel like all talk and no action, that is changing. They're wanting to show up more. They're wanting to be more stable, you know, but this has not been easy to get to. This has not been an easy road to get to this point, is what I'm seeing here, Scorpio. So that's what I have for you this week. If this message resonated, hit that like button. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, whatever you are drawn to do. I appreciate you so very much for joining me this week, and I wish you the very best. Joy, love, and light. Okay, Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. Hello, and thank you for joining us this week on What's on the Menu. What do we have this week for Sagittarius, please, universe? What do you have for Sagittariuses? World card. So something's closing out. Something's changing. Something's closing out for you. What's closing out here? The cards are wanting to have a mind of their own. Okay. What's that card? Okay. So man, you have closed out some cycles, Sagittarius, and I think that you're on your way toward moving toward what you see as your happily ever after. You know, you're oh, okay. So have you met somebody? Is there I think, you know, it's like I really am feeling here. This is some good energy. I'm really feeling like you might, if you haven't met somebody yet, I think changes that you've made in your life, Sagittarius, are leading you to meet a soulmate. Might be coming in that is going to lead to something that's going to be very happy for you. Somebody, you know, somebody that's going to, you know, make you very, very, very happy is what I'm getting. And I think it's due to you making some changes in your life, Sagittarius, that has opened the door for this person to come in. You know, you changed your energy and it's allowed this person. Yeah, look at that. Change. You changed, you know, you changed some things up, and changing your energy, changing some things in your life is allowing this to come in. It's going to lead to something very happy. You are in this Fool energy where you're just like this energy of just things coming to you, you know, where you're the world is your oyster, the world's at your feet, you know. I think that this is just telling me that this Ten of Cups, what it represents, whatever it represents to you. Because to me, the Ten of Cups represents like what we daydream about, what we daydream and wish for, hope for, what we want our life to look like. You know, what's the goal? What's our goal? What are we shooting for? What are we aiming for? You know, where the Ten of Pentacles is more tangible, it's something that we can see, smell, touch, feel. Cups is our emotions. It's what we daydream about. It's what we long for. It's our goal that we have our mind set on, that we want to obtain and make it into the Ten of Pentacles. And so that's telling me that it's been something, you know, obtaining that or moving toward that in the past has been difficult for you. There's been conflict around that, and it's been a challenge to move toward, you know, what you feel is the goal that you want to obtain in this lifetime. And so it's definitely telling me that there's just like that you had a lot that you really keep trying to move toward this, and when you kept trying to move toward this, I really feel like that you had the tendency to just go out after something, you know, full force, you know, full throttle. Like as soon as you had an idea, you know, you would just go after it and throw caution to the wind. But that tended to cause some issues for you, Sagittarius, you know, like because maybe you didn't always think everything through completely. And you know, that you might have tried to this is really talking about, you know, like indecision, you know, not making a decision. I need the last card. I really need the last card. I need this other card. So the Page of Swords. So much sword energy. You're a fire sign, Sagittarius, but so much sword energy. So what I'm getting here is in the past, or what led up to this point, and I think this is what it's kind of given me a little bit of insight into what you changed, and I think what I'm feeling that you changed is a little bit of indecision that you had, like of almost downplaying your decisions when you would make it. Like if there's a decision that needed to be made, you could almost talk yourself out of it. In a way, it's like you could talk yourself out of doing it, and where you would get yourself confused and not make a decision, you know, or get yourself confused about what decision to make, which caused this conflict. And so like you're ready to like get out of your head and say, you know, like I really feel like that's what you're kind of leaving behind, is like this getting up in your head sometimes, and keeping yourself from moving forward, you know, where you could almost get yourself stuck and cause yourself conflict at times because of, you know, getting up in your head a little bit too much. And I feel like that's what might happen when this person comes along, when this soulmate comes along and comes into your life, Sagittarius, that I feel like, you know, there may be, you're going to have to be careful, because I feel like you might miss this opportunity with this person, because you might fall into your old patterns that get yourself up in your head a little bit, where you can't make a decision properly, where you might get stuck on going after it and moving forward, or communicating what you want and what your needs are, or even introducing yourself to this person. You might talk yourself out of it, is what I'm getting, is you might talk yourself out of doing this and meeting this person. And that's why it's saying, you're sitting in this energy, this beautiful energy here, Sagittarius, where you've changed some things in your life. You're making these changes. You're being the fool. You're going after stuff. You're going out there, being the fool. And that's great energy to be in. But the moment you get into your head and start over analyzing or overthinking something, it can sometimes make you, pass things by, pass opportunities by, because you're not paying attention, or you get up in your head and convince yourself that you don't deserve it, or that I'm stumbling at what the words to say. I apologize. I do have a head cold, so my head's a little bit stuffy. So it's I'm a little bit challenged here on messages coming through this week. But I'm really getting this. It's that kind of an energy where you might just get yourself stuck, where you might say something to yourself that might keep you from, introducing yourself or opening a conversation, or you might be a little bit too judgmental and close off to this person, or turn a blind eye because they may not fit your type, of person. And so, I really am just getting this feeling that you might miss this opportunity if you tend to overthink it, or get yourself into a place of indecision, of talking yourself out of doing something. So what we have, the final cards from the universe, are the Empress and the Devil. And what's the last card? The Four of Swords. So this is telling me, this is kind of what we were already talking about, that, that you need to be careful with this, because you can have a tendency to, I'm getting, be a little bit judgmental for some of you. This is not going to be for everyone. If it's not resonating, don't take it. It's not yours. So for some of you, it might be a tendency to judge people sometimes. For other people, it might be just where you freeze and don't act, get yourself in that indecision where you don't do something, where you don't act or don't do something. But this is to your detriment. This is something that, that you tend to do this, that you will either, it's a form of self-sabotage where you will either talk yourself out of something, or you'll blow something off, and pass something by without realizing it, or not taking the chance to see where it goes, and I think, this is where this energy falls in play, where it's like, you need to just open up and see where things go. Every opportunity, has something in it for us. It wouldn't come into our lives if there wasn't something we were supposed to get out of it. So it's like opening up and being that fool, and just going with the flow and taking the risk, taking the risk and the chance on something that might, that could lead to what you're wanting, but you might pass it by, either because you might be, a little bit too judgmental, or think, you're kind of, off of this, strangely enough, off of this Empress card with it paired with the Devil, sometimes when we get everything that we want, when we can sometimes feel like we're better than other people, and sometimes we don't. We close our eyes essentially, or don't see certain things because we feel like we're too good for them, or it's beneath us, or that we don't care about those things because it's not in, like in our little bubble. It's not, so it's kind of like saying, be careful of, it's great to be in that energy of the Empress and to have, to be in these wonderful, wonderful energies, but you have to be careful that you don't let that go to your head, that you don't, miss opportunities, because, that's why I said with this paired with the devil here, that, this is something you're going to have to be careful of, that's going to require some balance a little bit of not getting too, in a sense, kind of too stuck up or too high and mighty, or where you feel like you're better than other people. It's just kind of a caution, that may occur, which would make you miss this opportunity if because you, like I said, you could just, this person could come off the wrong way and you dismiss them for some reason or another. It could be something small and you miss that opportunity. And so that's what the universe is kind of saying. Be cautious that you might let something pass you by that could be really significant and great if you're not, open, being very completely open to everything that comes your way, and see, just give everything a chance. You're attracting so much as an Empress energy, and the cycles that you've closed out, you're attracting a lot to you, and so that makes it, where you're going to have more and more decisions to make. And if you freeze on those decisions, or if you blow things off, then you're not going to be able to get what you're going to miss things. It's as simple as that. You're going to miss opportunities that could be potentially great for you. So that's what I have for you this week, Sagittarius. If you like that, hit that like button. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate you, whether you are a subscriber, returning viewer, or new to the channel. I do appreciate you all for supporting me in any way whatsoever that you support me, to include just watching and reading. It's a way to support me. So definitely appreciate all of you that help my channel grow by liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. I thank you so very much, and I wish you the best this week. Joy, love, and light. Okay, Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Hello to my Capricorns out there. Hello and welcome to what's on the menu this week. What do you got for Capricorn this week, please? What's the message you got to tell the Cappies this week? So what do you got your eyes set on? There's definitely a decision that needs to be made, but you're focused on one of those. You're leaning toward one thing. You're looking at one thing and kind of forgetting about the other thing. So let's see here. I really feel like you got your eyes set on new horizons, like, something that you don't have. I almost am getting this grass is greener on the other side syndrome, wanting to be somewhere else than where you currently are. Capricorn is what I get, is that you just want to be somewhere else than where you are. Where you are is difficult right now, and you're just I'm just not wanting to be where you are is what I get. Yeah, not wanting to be where you are. This is really causing you a lot of stress and strife, and just like, really obsessing about getting out of your current situation. Like it's like getting toxic. Where you're at is you're wanting out of it. It's like, I think that you're wanting out of a certain situation because it's been very toxic. The love in this situation, what you've been giving to this situation has become toxic in some way. And it's affecting you, Capricorn. I mean, yeah, the devil's also your sign. It represents you. And this is telling me that your love has become toxic. It's become an obsession, like you want love. And I feel like you're not getting it right now. You're like the situation you're in has grown toxic, and you're wanting to change that. You're wanting to change your destiny. You're wanting to have a different life. Like I said, I felt like the grass is greener on the other side. You're looking out that window at something new, something different, something that that you don't have currently in your life, you know, and longing for it, looking and longing for it. And while you're taking a moment to look out that window, you know, you're realizing, you know, what you want, you know, what that you want to move away from where you're at. Because I think the relationship or the situation you're in, I almost get like this is, you know, this is telling me, and of course this isn't going to be for everyone, and not every message is going to be for everyone. So, you know, if this isn't for you, then it's not for you. You know, maybe the next one will catch you. But this is really giving me the vibe of someone that is in a long-term relationship. Like you're either married or you've been with somebody for a very, very long time. At one point, it was, you know, they were the love of your life, you know, but over time this love has become toxic, and you know that it's become toxic, and you're seeing that it's become toxic, and you're ready to, you know, that you realize that you need to move on from this situation now because it's become toxic. And this has got you, you know, like defensive, got your guard up. I mean, it makes sense because this has been hard and trying, because this has become toxic. And so you're just like, you know, just kind of done with this, you know, that's why the grass is gray. Maybe, you know, you're got your eyes set looking out on the horizon at other things because you can't leave this situation yet, you know. So it's like you're kind of minding your own business and looking toward the outside world, looking toward those greener pastures, hoping and wishing for those greener pastures. But I don't feel like you can have that yet, or that you're not in a place to be able to leave this situation yet, that has become toxic. You definitely have the desire there to do so. But I feel like there's been a lot of conflict between you and this person. There's been a lot of sharp words that have cut and have been very hurtful. And I feel like, I'm almost feeling like there's like this energy between you and this person that you're with, where, you know, you say sharp things, hurtful things to each other, and then you make up. You know, and you might have, like, that might be a pattern you guys have gotten into, is kind of having this makeup sex, almost like where you fight and then you make up, and then you're fine for a while, and then you fight and you make up, and then you're fine for a while. And this has become toxic because it's just become this pattern of toxicity, of where you guys, you know, this is the pattern you've fallen into, where you guys get on each other's last nerves. You'll say things that are very hurtful, and those things hurt over time. They just add up, those hurtful things. And you know, and then the apologies become almost shallow. They don't mean anything, because it's like, oh, well, here we go again. You know, we're back to square one. You know, you're saying you're doing the same thing. So those promises, those apologies are very empty, and they're not leading you ultimately to, you know, to your happiness here. This is something this is really just telling me that this has been going on a long time, you know. This is, and I said, I feel like this is a relationship that has been long standing, that has been, you know, something that has been significant in your life. This is a significant partner, whether it's a spouse or somebody that you've been living with, or, you know, somebody you've been with for a long time, you know. And so, but this is the pattern you've found yourself in, and it's gotten toxic, Capricorn, and you're just tired of it. You know, you're tired of that pattern, and you're wanting something new. But you've been with this for so long, it's hard to set it down. It's hard to leave it. And I think that you guys are stuck in this pattern and in this cycle, and it's like you don't know quite how to break free from it yet. But I feel like you're trying to, with that Four of Swords there, that you're trying to, I think that's Four of Swords, isn't it? Yeah, Four of Swords, I thought so. Making sure, double checking I didn't have it incorrect. That you've been, you're with that Four of Swords, that you're trying to heal some of this. You're trying to heal some of this pain, some of this burden, until, because it's like, you're kind of stuck here right now. Because I feel like you can't leave it yet, because you're just wishing and hoping. You're looking out, wanting to move on, but you're not moving on yet, but I also think that you're tired of this. You're tired of doing this pattern, Capricorn. You're ready to give it up and set it down. But it's still in your life. And it's still, I don't see anything being done about it right now. This is just calling attention to it. So if you haven't realized this is the pattern that you're in, if you're longing for something outside of the relationship, I actually am almost getting, with this Devil being on this Two of Wands, that you might have you might have sought some happiness outside of the context of your relationship, which could have caused some of these battles, some of this round and round you guys have about hurting each other and making up, like you'll do something to hurt the other person, intentional or unintentional, but I think it's because you're not happy. You're wanting to move on from the situation, Capricorn, but you're not ready to give it up completely yet. You haven't, you are looking outward towards something else, but it's still in the room. You're still there. You're still in this. You haven't completely decided, but with you, the Four of Swords here, that's starting that healing path of starting to get yourself where you need to be, so that you can either, one, heal this dynamic and change it so that it doesn't happen anymore, heal the aspects within you that have been hurt, and healing those so that you can transform this pattern into something more healthy, or leaving this person at some point. That's it may be different for each person because it depends on your situation. So that's what I have for you this week, Capricorn. If you like that message, if it resonated, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe, share, comment, anything you feel moved to do. I appreciate you so much for any support that you throw my way on and lend my channel. I thank you so much, and I wish you the very best this week. Joy, love, and light. Aquarius. Hello to Aquarius. Hello to the Aquariuses and Aquarians out there. Thank you for joining us this week on What's on the Menu. What do you got for Aquarius this week, universe? What do you got for Aquarius this week, universe? What do you want to talk to them about? So definitely going to be keeping to yourself a little bit. Feel like you're in kind of a, this is Hangman Tree, usually indicates not much going on. Usually because you're more in a mental kind of an energy, trying to usually, I'm feeling like a little bit, I'm really getting like on a hanging upside down, swinging. I'm getting this a feeling of dangling and swinging, swaying, while dangling. It's like almost like a peaceful rocking. I almost feel like one of those the little pelican things that go and dip their head, dip their beak in the water thing. It's like it's like this, I feel like this gentle rocking, like of that boat, it's like this gentle swaying, gentle rocking that's going on. What is this about, Aquarius? What's this gentle rocking that you got going on. I'm sitting here rocking. Okay, so I think you know, it's like there's rocky waters, but you don't want to rock the boat. It's like taking things slow, taking things one step at a time, because you don't want to rock the boat. I think you're in choppy waters and you don't want to rock the boat. Outside and around you are choppy waters, but like I said, you're not wanting to rock the boat here. And interesting that you have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. So this is how am I going to approach, you know, and coming in very small, because, you know, like it's like this not wanting to rock the boat. You know, it's like you're coming in small with something small and offering something small because you don't know if it's going to rock the boat or not. If it's going to upturn things, you know, cause an upheaval, and you're trying to avoid an upheaval, Aquarius. You're trying to do the right thing here. You know, King of Swords, he is my analyst and my strategist. He makes decisions from a very logical, practical, well-grounded place. You know, he doesn't take chances. He gets all the facts before he takes a chance. Well, he doesn't take chances. He gets all the facts before he makes a decision and takes action on it. And so it's like when it comes to love, it's like you're thinking of love from a logical perspective, which, you know, is what maybe is causing the boat to rock here, because it's like, how do I love, you know, from a heart perspective, from an emotional heart perspective instead of a mental perspective. And I think you know, that's been the problem. So this is the rocking the boat, you know. Again, I really am getting the don't rock the boat, baby. Don't rock the boat. Let's just keep going where we're going, you know. So you're trying to heal things within a situation, definitely trying to heal something and change the dynamic here, which is probably why you're in that hangman tree, is because you're trying to get a perspective. It's like, you know what you're doing when it comes to matters of the mind, when it comes to doing things from a logical standpoint. You got it. You got this, Aquarius. Definitely got it. But when it comes to your emotions and expressing your emotions and sharing how you feel, you have some insecurities about that because you're afraid of saying how you feel because it'll rock the boat, you know. And so this is something that you're trying to get under, you know, control. I hate using the word control, but it's you're trying to understand how to approach things from an emotional point of view without rocking the boat. You know, when you have emotions towards something, you know, that you can be very practical, and you can be very sharp, you can be very, you know, to the point, direct, but sometimes it's like you maybe have a hard time with compassion or showing compassion, and that's something you're trying to heal or change, because I think that your words sometimes, Aquarius, can come across too sharp and too cutting, and so you're wanting to soften those up a little bit, is what I think. Yeah. And so this is something that it's this fear of being rejected, in a sense, because of saying the wrong thing, you know, not saying something that might offend somebody and rock the boat. And so, like, you know, it's how do I be a little bit more compassionate, where I don't say something that's going to offend somebody, or say something that's going to trigger somebody, and get someone upset. It's like, how do I change this aspect? How do I bring a little bit more, like I said, emotion to it, or compassion, empathy, when I'm dealing with people in my life? I really feel like, you know, you're manifesting this, you know, peacefulness is what, you know, but that's hard for you to do, is to manifest, you know, manifest having more emotions, like showing up for somebody and having that compassion and empathy. How do you do that? You know, I really think that you're trying to figure that out, or trying to be better at expressing how you feel, you know, or being more compassionate toward people, of maybe using a little bit more emotion. Not much. It's a page, not much. Using just a little bit, just a little tiny pinch of more compassion, emotion when you're making decisions, and when you're, you know, when you're talking to somebody or people, or whatever the situation is. But this is really talking about like somebody that really fears saying the wrong thing, that it's gonna, you know, it's gonna set people off. It's gonna trigger people. It's going to rock the boat if you say, you know, a lot of times you're used to people like you saying something and it rocks the boat. And so you almost have this fear sometimes of expressing how you feel, because you feel like it's going to rock the boat. So for the final cards, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Swords. So, like I said, it really is like this fear of when you come together and try and work on something with someone, you have this fear about being too cutting, too harsh, too, you know, of being too mental and not compassionate enough. Is really what it amounts to. I mean, you're feeling like you're too confrontational when it comes to like coming together and working on stuff with people in any situation that you try to work on. You've noticed that you can be too confrontational, where you can be a little bit harsh, a little bit cold, a little bit critical. It's more of that very sharp cutting energy, you know, and there's not much emotion. It's just, you know, saying it like it is, whether that hurts or not, you know, being very cold and almost detached about, you know, just saying it because it's right and it's what needs to be said, because it's the truth, you know. It's kind of like that bold, blatant truth of being very, you know, just open and blatant, whether it's hurtful or not. Just saying how it is. And you know that can cause problems. And so that's what you're trying to be more discerning and be a little more compassionate, have a little bit of empathy before you just say things how they are, you know, and put it on the table. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. If that message resonated, hit the like button down below. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, anything that you are moved to do. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I wish you the very best. Joy, love, and light. Okay. Pisces. We're on to Pisces. Pisces, hello Pisces. Hello to any Pisces out there that are joining us this week. Thank you for joining us. I thank you so much for coming and wanting to lend some support to my channel. This is what's on the menu this week. So right off the gate, you have the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. I think someone has something to say. They need to express how they feel. And they're just doing it. They just throwing caution in the wind, and they're going to come in hot and heavy with something to say on how they feel. They're taking a chance and risking it. It's what I get here. They definitely have something to say. There's something they need to say to you. And I think it's going to have to do with wanting to work on things with you, express how they feel, express that they want something with you, that they want to make this work. You know, I think that's what they're going to tell you. And I feel like this is something that, you know, I really feel like that you might turn a little bit of a cold shoulder to this person. You might be a little bit closed off at first. But I think that you'll come around, but I think you'll be a little bit cold at first. I think you'll hear what this person has to say, but I think that unless you hear the right words, Pisces, you're probably you may come off a little bit cold to this person. Because I really feel like you haven't decided yet. I really feel like, this is you're gonna have a decision to make on this when this person comes in hot and heavy. When they come in and say what they have to say, then you're gonna be faced with a decision. But I really feel like with the swords coming out here that, that you might, even though they have a lot to say, and it's going to be very truthful. I think, there's no doubt that you're going to believe what they say. You're definitely going to believe what they say, but I feel like they might approach in a way that gets you a little bit on the defensive, get you a little bit cold, like you're a little bit closed off a little bit. And I think it's because they might go too much. They might go a little bit overboard, like they might play the fool a little bit too much, where they like they aren't prepared, to, and they maybe you'll say or do the wrong thing that'll be like get you kind of like get you a little bit defensive. I think you're a little bit concerned with what their intentions really are, or what they want from this. And I think that's what you're trying to figure out here is what do you really want from this? What's the purpose of this? Is what you're going to kind of be asking yourself. And I think that's why you're going to be a little bit cold and detached when they come in with this offer of love. And they're going to be putting it all on the line, but it's like you don't completely trust it. It's like not completely. So your final cards, you have the Knight of Wands with the Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So yeah, they're going to come in, but I think definitely with something to say. And I think that it is going to, it's really going to be a challenge for you. And I really think that you're going to have to decide whether you want to invest in this or not, whether you want to trust this or not. But I really feel like they're genuine. Pisces, I feel that they're genuine. They may not come off that way to you. They may come off as a little bit of, like playful energy with that Fool and Knight of Wands, where they could come in, a little bit, flirty or playful or, childlike, where they're trying to win you over. I think that's what they're, they definitely have a lot to say, and they have a lot they want to express to you. And I really am feeling like that they're very honest about what they're saying to you, even though it may come off in a way, Pisces, that kind of you're like, oh, I don't know about this. You might want to stay over there for a minute while I think about this. And I think it's gonna take you a minute to realize, and you may or may not. I think this reading is to kind of help you understand that even if they don't come in the best way that puts you on guard, that they're genuine, like their intentions are genuine here, that they mean what they say, even though they may not come across that way to you. So that's what I have for you this week, Pisces. If you like that message or it resonates, hit the like button down below. Feel free to leave any comments, share, subscribe, all that jazz, whatever you see fit to do. I appreciate you for supporting me. Just even watching these videos is a measure of support, and I appreciate that so very much because it all helps my channel grow and get out there to more people. Don't forget about the free drawing too. You know, I don't know if everybody gets, listens to the intro, but I am going to be doing a free drawing at 100 subscribers, so stay tuned for that. I wish you the very best this week. Joy, love, and light.